Welcome back. We have a call on the line, but just before we take that call, and I do thank you for holding. Just a quick question: the revised figures for 2010. When did they come in?
There was a process of revision that we engaged in. I mean, we basically, what we do is we have to go through every sector again, and we do that throughout the year. You see, so I don't want, and what we try to do is to target a date at the end of February, at the end of March, leading up to the budget, where we can say all of our sectors are in now, we are ready. That's what we try to arrive at. But in between that period, it's a process. We have all these sectors going through, strengthening, looking at the methodology, working with the data source, talking to them through any issue, and then ensuring that everything is ready. And once everything is ready, we switch on and we say, okay, this is the rate that we have. And that's how we do it. Okay, now we are in the process of revising that procedure, where we've been working with a regional agency to produce a quarterly number, so that you're not going to get that situation where every year you wait a whole year before you can receive a commentary on economic activity.
Right.
But in fact, every quarter you'd be able to do that. And we will use some software, some seasonal adjustments, because we have there are cyclical cyclical trends within the economy that needs to be reflected over time into the production of any number going forward. Okay.
Good evening, caller. Thanks for holding.
Good evening. I just want to say that this whole situation is so unfortunate, in the sense that those who understand statistics would understand that the information is clearing it up is quite simple. But what concerns me is that the number of persons who really do not understand that this is really a simple misunderstanding that can be easily cleared up would get the impression that the statistical department cannot be trusted with the data that it puts out. I know that this director of statistics is one of the most highly respected director of statistics in the region, actually, and one of the reasons that's why St. Lucia has the best statistical department in the region. Also, Mr. St. Catherine is highly recognized and highly respected internationally. I am saying that St. Lucia should be extremely honored and proud to have a director of statistics as the one that we have. And the St. Lucians who really do not know much about statistics should know that this man, because of his integrity and his love and his belief in statistics and what he's doing for St. Lucia and for the government of St. Lucia, no matter who it may be, he has no color or preference when it comes to delivering the work that he should do. And I know that. And I think, someone said that he's clearing up and defending. He's not defending. He's trying to explain what the politicians seem not to be able to come out clearly and explain to the directorate. I just really hope that this can go through so that the man on the ground can understand that this is just a mix-up and that can be easily cleared up. Good night.
Thank you very much. Very well said.
Thank you very much,
and that's what I was alluding to a few minutes ago. He's a very humble guy, so he would not want to go into the details of what he has accomplished and where he has been as far as statistics is concerned. And I want to concur that we have one of the best, if not the best, director of statistics in the region. And that is why, international agencies, regional agencies would call on him on many occasions to do work with them and for them as far as their statistics department is concerned. And I know you would not say that, but I mean, these are things that some of us who know your work can say with some measure of confidence. Okay. We have another call. Please go ahead with your contribution. We lost that call right there. So it's always a process, and I mean, we have another caller. Please go ahead.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Did you say, Mr. Director, that there was a study on VAT will have no effect on poor people?
No, I did not say that.
What? I didn't get that point.
No, I said there was the VAT office authorities what we have for St. Lucia is we have a profile of how St. Lucians spend their money, right? So that the VAT office, for example, was very interested in finding out what was the pattern of expenditure among the poor, so that when they are implementing VAT, they can be sensitive to the expenditures that are unique to poor persons, to ensure that they do not adversely affect them when they do the implementation. I mean, I think it will affect everyone.
Yeah, but that's what I know. VAT
It
is a
will
taxable
affect.
tax.
It will
So
affect.
I cannot
It's what?
see-
What's that?
But,
Hold on, let him finish
you
first,
said?
and then you can go ahead.
Sorry?
yeah, no, I'm saying the whole idea of the whole rationale for VAT
Right.
is that it will promote more equity in terms of the tax threshold and
Okay.
distribution.
Okay, fine.
So
Yeah, you seem
I
to-
don't think we should look at it that way, because people can move from bracket to bracket.
Right.
And I don't think we should speculate on what goods people can buy. You know, we look
Speculate?
based on that. I mean, apart from the rice, flour, and sugar, I mean, people buy
Yes,
whatever they want to buy.
exactly. But
Thanks, caller.
But persons who are poorer tend to have a certain, for example,
Consumption
if you
and spending pattern.
and spending pattern. For example, a poor person spends more money on food, for sure. Okay, so if you look at the profile of a poor person, you're going to see percentage spent on food, 60%. Whereas, for example, you or somebody else, Clinton, would have maybe 20% expenditure on food, and other money spent on entertainment, transportation, cell phone use, and all of that, right? So your expenditure pattern may be significantly different from those persons. But because they're vulnerable, you have to ensure that in any implementation that you do, it protects them. And that's why the data that we have that we provide to help in terms of persons' knowledge of how that should best be done can help a process like that. There are many. The source I'm referring to is the household budget survey, which we did to compute the poverty line and the poverty rate in 2006. That 28.8% head count. That same data set is what's being used or to study, the effect of VAT on especially the poor and vulnerable persons in the society.
Good evening, caller. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Mr. Catherine, can you please speak to the last census figure and the voting list, which I believe in
The voters, yes, actually,
Thank you.
yes, that is actually a question I had intended.
Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to get that
Yes.
question, because, the voters list, for example, would show 150,000 voters, and the census would show a total population of 167,000. Right now, we have a population of about 169,000. Now, the difference there is, let's say, a little over 15, and you say, well, that cannot account for the population 0 to 18. And that's true, right? But the thing is that there are different definition. A different definition is used for the census as opposed to the voters list. The voters list, in fact, includes the diaspora. Okay? People who've left St. Lucia permanently or not permanently to live abroad for an extended period of time. And that's a significant number of people, well in excess of 20,000, right? So that this issue, I was finding it strange. People were comparing the census, which is based on a resident living in St. Lucia for 6 months out of the last 12, to an electoral register where voters can have left St. Lucia to live abroad for significant periods of time and still be on the register.
So we need to
so
tighten up on the registers that we have, and,
Yeah.
and I think I made a similar mistake, and I must confess to it, because
Okay.
I was trying to see. I raised the question,
Yeah.
how would your voters list be so large or so close to your population, list, and that is the difference.
That is one of the primary reasons, right? I mean, there are other reasons obviously, but to me, that's the primary reason. We all have to do work on our data to make sure that it's clean, that we remove extraneous records from it and records that don't belong there and so on. But that to me is the crux of the matter.
Well, Mr. St. Catherine, Edwin St. Catherine, the Director of Statistics on St. Lucia, I want to thank you very much for agreeing to be part of Newsmaker Live. It was a pleasure having you. I want to thank you for calling in and asking your questions and participating in our program this evening. Just a quick reminder that tomorrow, Delia Dola on the Dola Factor Live. How much does myth and superstition play in your life? What is the difference between religious belief and superstition? Should superstition be dismissed as old wives' tales, or do you believe in Laja Bless and Majinwe? Join Delia Dola and her guests Nkrumah Lucian and Anthony LaForce on DBS tomorrow from 8:30 for the Dola Factor Live. Well, again, thank you very much. I'm Clinton Reynolds. I'll be back here next week, God willing, for another Newsmaker Live program where we have Mr. Michael Flood, former electoral councilman, and also we have the folks from Expo 2012 with us. Before that, I'll be here on the Press Club on Sunday, so please join me then. On behalf of my entire team, I want to say good night to you and take care.